psychic medium Karyn Reece, and I'm with my co-host Alexa Zappia in for Sarah DeFelice. Welcome to the Karyn Reece Show.
Karyn, how do we know when a match is right for us?
That is a good question. Matching clothes, matching men and women, gotcha. Usually it's your gut instinct. When you get that gut instinct, and you feel it's right, go with it.
So we wanted to get some expert advice, so we found April Davis, president and matchmaker from the luxury matchmaking company Luma. You may have seen her on The Real Housewives of Orange County, read about her in Forbes, seen her on CBS News, and with over 25,000 members and an 83% success rate. It is no wonder why April Davis has won all these kind of awards.
Good news, we were able to catch up with April in the privacy of her home. What made you become a matchmaker?
You know, it's one of those things that I was always doing it for fun my entire life. And actually the first couple I ever put together was when I was only 16 years old. Beautiful. And so then eventually I worked in business, I had my MBA, and eventually I looked at it as a business model and started doing some research and realized, hey, I could do this, and I could do it a lot better than some of the companies that were out there trying to provide this kind of service. And so that's how I got into it. My background's in process improvement, and so I took that and applied it to the whole dating industry, and that's how Luma was developed.
So are there any rules that you can tell your clients prior to a first date which will lead to more success?
Well, we do have a couple of rules, and 4 of them that I think that apply to everyone. So number 1 is attitude. You have to have a great attitude. You have to be positive. And I always say, come from a place of giving, because it's always better to give than to receive, right? And so if you have this mentality on the date that you think that you can just go in and this person should impress you and tell you why they're the one, you're not going to be successful. You need to have more of a mindset around, I want to give this person a great time. I want them to have fun. I want to bring them value. And then in turn, you will feel good. They'll have a great time, and you will feel like you had a great time as well. So that's number 1, attitude, have a great attitude. 2 is only limit yourself to 2 drinks, okay? Simple as that. You can't get drunk.
Troublemakers.
We always say no talking about politics, sex, or religion on the first 3 dates. So leave that out of the conversation. And then the other thing that we always tell people is your date is not your therapist. They're not there to hear about all your past dating, disasters or your past relationships and why your ex is such a jerk and blah, blah, blah. Don't talk about your past relationships. Just leave it out. If it does come up, just change the subject.
Great. Those are all great. Are there any specific characteristics that 2 people must have in common to make things work?
Well, I think it comes down to people's values. Just because 2 people look on paper like they might be a good match for each other, that doesn't always work out that way. You have to look beyond just the surface layer and really see, okay, do their values align? Because they can be very different, but as long as, they both want the same thing. So when I talk about values, I mean things such as their perspectives on religion, maybe how they would raise children together if they're still planning on having kids, maybe their views, just being able to work through different things. And you don't have to both be on the same political party. I know politics is a really heated subject right now, and it really has been for the last couple of years. And, you don't have to be the same political party, but you do need to be able to work with each other and respect each other. And then therefore, I think your values align and that you're both respectful individuals. So it always comes down to values, I say.
Those are some good key points. April, if money wasn't a factor, what would be the first date activity? What would you recommend? Or the best first date?
Yeah, anything active that you both like to do, or maybe don't like to do, or haven't done before even. So I always say, get yourself away from that stereotypical date where you're there and it feels like you're in an interview and it's the same old, just asking each other questions. And I think it's important to see people in other types of environments, because if they're just there being interviewed, that's a totally different person than who they might be when they're at work, or if they're an artist, when they're painting in their studio, or if they're an attorney, if they're at work. You want to see people in different environments, because that will give you more perspective on who they really are. And one of my biggest pet peeves is when people tell me, oh, I know in 5 seconds if this person is the one, or if it's going to work out or not. People are complex. And you can't just make a big judgment like that in just 5 seconds. it's a book. Read the book. Don't just judge them by their cover. And people may be shy on that first date. And I don't even think about that first date as being a date. I think of that as being more of the introduction. And if you get to the second time together, that's more like a date. And that's when people have changed. I mean, it's been funny. I met a guy one time at like a networking event, and I kind of thought he was kind of nerdy and sweet guy, whatnot. But then I wanted to meet with him to maybe match him with one of my clients. And the guy that came in that second time, when we met for coffee, I'm like, is this the same person? I seriously had to do a double check, because he did not act like the same person that I had initially met at the networking event. So again, this was a perfect example of how people act very differently in different environments. So to answer your question though, doing things that are active. So it could be going skiing in the winter sports, skating, ice skating could be a fun one. Just maybe even going for a walk could be fun. There's so many different things, just get online and do a search for things to do in your town and in whatever season you're in too.
That's great advice.
It's great advice.
Totally.
So what is the truth behind saying that opposites attract but fall apart faster, rather than finding someone alike and stay together longer?
Again, I think that it comes down to people. It depends on what you're saying are opposites. So if it's their style of clothing and they look different, or their backgrounds are totally different, those it just depends on what it is. But I think what's more important to match up again are the values. So somebody could look like they're complete opposites. My husband and I are, on paper, we looked like we were totally different people. I'm from northern Minnesota, land of where people wear a lot of camouflage and ride motorsports and stuff like that. And he's a total city boy. And but our values align really well. And it took really getting in there and understanding each other and getting to know each other to recognize that. It's definitely not something that I even knew or realized, for a while anyway, until I got to know him.
For joining us. If you'd like more information, go to lumasearch.com.
When we come back, I'll be in the audience to take questions.
Welcome back to the show, and now Alexa's going to entertain some questions.
Hi, what's your name? Where are you from?
My name's Karyn Soldwish from North Tonawanda, New York. And my question is, when you're having a dream about a person that's passed, how do you know if it's really them visiting you or if it's just you reminiscing?
Well, that's a great question, Karyn. I like your name, by the way, just saying. Actually, you could tell the difference if you feel like you're emotionally invested in the dream. If you feel like you're actually in that position, you're not just watching it as though you're watching a TV screen. So therein lies the difference. And if you have more of an emotional reaction when you wake up, you feel like you were emotionally tied as opposed to just watching. But 9 times out of 10, you're actually experiencing those experiences with dead people.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Good name, Care Bear.
Hi, what's your name? Where are you from?
Leanne Shea from West Seneca.
Hi, Lee. Ann Shea from West Seneca in the cold weather.
My question is, when people come to you for one-on-one readings, how are you always able to connect with that specific person?
Well, that's a really good question. What people don't realize, it takes a lot of energy. So if somebody has walls or blocks, or they're playing Test the Psychic, sometimes their negative energy will sort of put a wall between us, although usually I'll pick it up. It starts to come in subtly. But for me, it's very easy. It's very doable for most of the time. But keeping in mind, though, it does take energy from the dead person and myself. And the more open you are, the more easy it is for them to try to connect. And if you think of like radio waves, AM, FM dials, they don't really match, but that's kind of what you're doing. So, thank you. Oh, no, thank you. I like that question, Leanne. People don't realize that. I thought of sunflowers today. No wonder why. You're it.
Thank you. Hi, what's your name? Where are you from?
My name is Celeste Held. I'm from Cambria, New York, which up in Niagara County.
I know Cambria very well. Good
Yes,
area.
Yes, I love it. Okay.
Now, how do you focus in on somebody you're doing, you know, like you pick out from the audience? Because I can imagine you have like a room full of people right now trying to get to us or
Oh, yeah,
talk
they
to
do.
us.
Right.
How do you focus? It would drive me crazy. How do you focus on that one person, their people that you're listening to, and not hearing all the others, and you know, try to get, you know, to everybody that's here in the audience?
That's a really good question, because a lot of times what will happen is I'll have somebody that'll come in my ear and say, the woman in the red, that's my mother. And then somebody else might say something, and then sometimes it's like half, you can't always hear them real clearly, because again, you're dealing with the connection. And then when you have everybody's energy, and sometimes it gets really kind of curvy. So you do your best, you know, I think this person here is trying to make me go there. So, you know, you try and work it that way. And then when I see stuff psychically, I see like a little television screen above their head. So I might see something past or present, or, you know, something into the future. But you usually, when you get a lot of people, like everybody here has a bunch of people that they already started screaming at me. Right. You know, because sometimes it's the loudest ones that, you know, win. So, you know, sometimes, you know, you're just trying to hit where they want you to go. So, yeah, good questions today. I love these questions.
Thank you.
Readings coming up next. With readings, and I got to tell you, sometimes I really start getting bothered even before I go on set. And when I was on set just a few minutes ago, as we were micing up and getting ready, I had this younger man coming over, and he was pointing over to the corner to these two lovely ladies. Yes, because it's your nephew, yes. Yeah, because when we were sitting on set, Alexa and I, we were both, I had mentioned to her, he kept saying, I'm okay. He's talking about his hair, like he likes to shave his hair, or he likes to put something in his hair, or design his hair. He's like fussy about his hair. Who's the J, like J's and James? Where's the J connection he's talking about? Who's the J, J's and James? Okay, yeah.
John.
John. I almost said John, because he started saying John, J, J's and James, J's and John, yeah. John's doing really well. He's eating really well. I said, good for you. He's having a good time. He said, you've got to realize I'm in a better place, and nobody could have done anything differently, just so you know. Are you supposed to go for a pedicure or a manicure or something? Or?
I want to.
Yeah, you've been slacking on that? Yeah, that's what John just said, yep. And he said, I don't want you to feel bad for me. He says, I'm in a really, really good place. He has a deeper understanding. He loves his auntie. He says, tell my aunt I love her so much. And he said, look, you did everything you could, but he said, sometimes there are just things you cannot change. And if you can ever just realize you will connect with each other again at some point, and in your dream state you will. He said, you know, I have really no regrets. I did some dumb things, don't we all, right? That's what life is all about. It's here to learn and experience. Who's the Mark connection? Whose name is Mark? Marcus, Mark, he's saying name. Somebody's got to be in the living with that name. They're talking about it, like Martin, Mark. Keep that in your mind. You might figure that out later. Did they just do a memorial for your nephew connected? Yeah, because that's what he's talking about. Yeah. So your one nephew, Johnny, was talking about your other nephew. They were there at that, and they enjoyed the memorial that they just did. They're having a good time, drinking lots of beer, eating chicken wings, you know, the normal stuff guys typically do. And by the way, your nephew Johnny said when he released from the body, he had no fear, just so you know that, and you couldn't have stopped his passing. And he said when I released, he said, I felt amazing. No pain, no emotional pain, and he says, I'm doing well, so just know that. And he says, the most important thing is that you live your life now. He wants to thank you and everybody for being there for him. Did you get t-shirts or wristbands or something yet? Johnny's talking about it.
No,
did somebody do that?
Johnny was found in Lake Erie, and we don't know how he died. Other than, you know, they pulled him out the lake.
Slip and fall, accidental. But somebody's talking about like a wristband or a t-shirt he's talking about with him on it. So it might be some of his friends because he said yes. But it happened so fast, his passing. There was no foul play, just so you know.
Oh my God.
Yeah, he says, tell my aunt that. So, and he says, I was just, you know, it was just a normal slip and fall. Sometimes things happen. And not to worry about that. Does that help you a little bit?
Thank you.
Yeah. No, he was really funny. He was bugging the heck out of me. And you got to get that manicure or pedicure.
I was just talking about that yesterday.
Yeah, that's what he said. He overheard your conversation. That's a good thing. Get a man and cure him. Huh, that sounds good. I don't know if you can cure men. Sorry, guys, but maybe. I don't know. But anyways, just so you know, he's doing really well. Okay, there's got to be a Mark.
I was at a memorial I was at a memorial last night for somebody I knew very well, Mark.
Oh, he's coming in with your boys. God. That's why they're saying, look over here. Oh my God, I'm so glad you said that. Well, you got like a whole bunch of party animals. What are you crying about these guys for? They know how to live it up, they just said. Your nephew, Johnny, said that. They enjoy, Mark's having a good time with your nephews. That's so funny. Couldn't wait to get, were you hoping to talk to Mark too?
Yeah, for his daughter and wife, yes.
Yeah, he had a good time. The memorial was nice, he said.
Yes.
A little pricey, but he said it went well. Yeah. Yeah, and he totally, like your group of guys are like standing behind me. They're all talking at once. Yeah, Mark said also if you can pass on, oh, they're having a good time. Let me tell you, when we get to the other side, we're gonna shop, we're gonna have some good food. Girl, don't even worry about it. But Mark is laughing. He said they did a really good job, spent a little too much money, but he was there with a bunch of people from the other side too. Loves his daughter, she's got really beautiful eyes. And he said he wants, if you can pass on to Mark's family, that he's very proud of the life that he lived. He still wants to give signs. Both groups of boys are gonna give signs. And you'll see lights that flicker. So when you see lights that flicker and you immediately think of Mark or Johnny or whoever you're thinking of, that's them coming through to you. Who's Christmas? Who's December? Who's got the December birthday?
Another nephew that was born in December.
Okay, you're close to him?
Yes.
Yeah. He's in the living, I take it.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Hang on, everybody, because he said something to. We'll tell him happy birthday from Johnny Rocket over here. They actually met up today for breakfast. Mark and John. Yeah. So they knew that you were all coming today. It's kind of funny that the three of you are sitting next to each other. Like, what is the likelihood? Wow, it's kind of cool. You make friends on the other side fast, But they really honestly said not to worry. Life is short. We're only here temporarily. It may seem like forever. You have really good, really great future ahead of you. Don't take no for an answer either. Yeah, and you're really smart too. You haven't finished your schooling yet?
No.
I didn't.
Oh, you've been blown into me, haven't you? Now you're blown into TV land. Anyways, get yourself back to school, Johnny said, and your other cousin said. And Mark said a big hug and a kiss, and your nephew says not to worry. Wait, did you change your career too, your college career? You made some shifting with what you want to do and what you did or something like that?
I changed it about 3 times in school.
Oh, okay, that's good. It's usually on average 4 times most college kids. I heard that on the radio. So you got one more change. Just change into going to school, you said. Yeah.
Okay.
You've got expensive habits when you get older too, yeah. You like a lot of bling, don't you? You will.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm trying to set you up, yeah. Then you can support your mom. But yeah, they're all doing really well. Again, John says, stop worrying. He goes, I love you. He says, I know how much you all love and miss me. And he says, don't worry. It's not what people are trying to make it out to be. It's just one of those mishaps. Was his time despite circumstances. He's having a great time. They loved the memorial too with the military, and then Mark loved his memorial as well. There's not much, so keep in mind when you think of them and something triggers a thought, you turn on a radio, you see a light flickering, that's going to be whoever you're thinking about giving you a message. And so when you're in the car today, you'll hear something that will remind you of your nephews. They're okay, and they're going to let you know that. And Mark said, good job. So if you could let the family know, good job. Okay, everybody, good to be messengers. God bless you. Who's bothering me? Welcome back to the show. We have some great prizes and giveaways.
Several members of our studio audience who are of age will receive a bottle of Merit Estate wine with a special blend made right here in Forestville, New York. Get more information at meritastatewinery.com. We also have a $50 gift card from Holistic Skincare by Janine, located at 5505 Main Street. They specialize in skin treatments for aging, acne, rosacea, including facials, sugaring, waxing, and more. Get information at 716skincode.com.
And One lucky member of our audience will receive a $50 gift certificate to Salvatore's Italian Gardens with specials for lunch and dinner at Western New York's iconic destination, where you can also check out the new Delavan Hotel and Spa. Everything you need to know is at salvatoreshospitality.com. And you asked and I answered. Now announcing Karyn Reece shirts. Give the gift of spirit to your loved ones and get your own today. Supplies are limited, so you better act fast. Shirts sell for $30 plus shipping. Email alexa@karynreece.com for details. Don't forget to show us your shirt by tagging my media pages and adding the hashtag Reece on the Street. I have a Karyn Reece prize package, including a shirt, a book, and a pen for a member of our studio audience. And I really take what you say to heart and invite you to listen to the Media Mindfulness Podcast. Life takes us not where we want to be, but where we need to be. Everyone has a story to tell. You will feel inspired, invigorated, and empowered that there is no normal.
Follow Karyn, Sarah DeFelice, and me as we interview compelling individuals who are ready to unite in order to break the stereotype of what it means to be normal. Find out more about media mindfulness by visiting our website at www.mediamindfulness.com. You can also find us on Spotify, iTunes, and Google Play by searching Media Mindfulness and finding Karyn's logo. Like, subscribe, and share with your friends.
And thanks for watching and connecting. And one last thing, a special goodbye for Colette and Stephen. We'll see you next time. But just so you know, they said not, John says, I know everybody keeps asking questions, please, please stop. You know, he says, it doesn't really matter anyways because I'm in a much better place with family and friends. And he said, you will see sometime, and I love you so much, you're like a mother to me. And even though, he said, even though I know this is hard for you, he goes, just know I'm okay. And I want to thank you for just being kind and teaching me to do the right thing always and to love from the heart. And people don't do that today, you know.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. And your mascara's not running. He thinks it's funny. He is really funny, though. Yeah. And it's funny because, like, there are no such things as coincidence. You know, Mark and John and your other cousin all made this happen. So it's kind of funny. Do you have to get tires for your car?
I do.
Oh, you do? Oh, John says get the tires. You've been slacking on the tires, yeah?
I don't take care of them, so I guess.
You don't want to have a car accident, so get the tires done. So when you're done here, go get some tires, he said. But anyways, God bless both of you, but don't let that stop you. Oh, you're so welcome. And he says, I love you, be happy for me. He's okay. And let it go, you know?
Peace.
Oh, hell
But
yeah.
I wanted to know.
He laughed when I said, oh, hell yeah. He goes, I've seen that too. I go, yeah, me too. He's having a good time. But you'll see him in your dreams when you go to sleep at
All
night.
the time I do.
Yep. Yeah, because you're going out of body. Same with Mark, same with, you know, whoever you want, your other cousin. And your other cousin, or your nephew, your other nephew, cousin, they love the honor that they did. Because somebody was talking about military as Mark was talking. They were all talking. So very important, you know. But they're having a good time, you know. So God bless you. I hope that helps you.
Karyn, thank you so much.
Listen, he was bugging me up there, wasn't he? So, get your tires. I'll talk to you soon. Bye, ladies. Thank you. Thank you.